Start recording, right? Fine. So the problem was in the schema, right? When we create a schema yesterday, remember this assigned to user ID is optional, okay? It's not, it does not have to be all the time, right? So I missed to put this question mark here. That means you can have this or maybe you don't, right? Does not matter, okay? So that's why it was complaining. Once I put that and then I say npx prisma db push, right, and then it will sync with our database and again start the server and it work, right? Everything is fine. So the point here is this one, right? So if I select, look at here, right? I'm just, this is the UI, okay? We have the UI, we just select here name. Now this select field need to be updated automatically, right? Means it will update our ID to the issue now. Once you select, it will update. So how are we going to do that? We have API for that already. So we go here now and so this select root, right? Select root, you know, this is the field where we displaying everything, correct? This one, all the user will be here, right? So you're going to select one of them. So look at here, the value, right? This value user ID, this value, okay? So how you going to grab this value, right, of that user ID? Because here you already have user ID. How you going to grab that? So selection now, right? This select component has unchanged value, what do you call that, the event, right? Let's call it event, okay? So let's apply that one. So we call it on, let's say on open change, on value change, right? This is the one on value change, and it will take callback function, okay? And we can write like this, right? So here whatever you pass in this value, right, it will be, that value will be received as props here. So we can call it issue ID, correct? Because we are not issue ID but user ID, right? Let's call it user ID, user ID, okay? So that is what we receive. You passing something here as a value, because when you select, okay, you're going to select something, right? The selected item is going to have that value ID, and on value change automatically you have here on the props. Fine. So how are we going to use that? So we will call our let's say Axios. We have Axios here. Yeah, we got Axios, right? So we're going to update now. So let's call the Axios Axios dot, right, because we want to update patch, and you know, we're gonna call our API slash issues, right? Because we're gonna update ID in the issue page, okay? Issue object, right there, and then plus we're gonna add something here. So we're gonna add issue ID, because remember this update is for issue ID, correct? We are updating the issue, one of the issue, so we must send API issue and ID also. So let's call it issue dot ID, and right now we don't have that, right? We don't have here, because remember in our database or in our component we don't have issue ID. So let's grab that, right? Issue, let's grab it here. We can call it issue, and that will be, that is the props, right? Props object. So that issue will gonna have issue ID, okay? So let's call it issue colon, that is issue ID. We can call it maybe issue, right? Let's call that issue, okay? That will gonna verify automatically. Yeah, so we have to pass issue now. So issue can have like title, description, ID, all the information, right? So assign select, okay? Assign select, where we are using in our page, right? So here assign select, now it asking to, you know, send the props here. So that is issue, and we have issue here already. Look at here, you're gonna have issue, right? Here, see that you're getting the issue here, so that issue we're gonna send it. See, that is what we're gonna send, and yeah, that is good enough, right? So let's go back here. Now we have issue, and we're gonna use here issue. We're just gonna get issue ID, right? Issue ID. So now we pass issue ID also. The next thing we have to pass is our data, right? The payload. So what will be our data? Assigned what is that? Assigned ASSIGN assigned to user ID, right? Like that, equal to basically user ID, right? And we have user ID already here, correct? So this is the property, right? This must match, this name must match, okay, with our schema name right here, assigned to user ID. So this is the payload, this is the data, okay, this is the data you're gonna send to this issue for update, okay? So yeah, so that is all done right now. So what else we can do now, right? Issue ID. Sometimes let's say if there is no issue ID, we can even, or you can send it null, right? Let's send it null, okay? If there is no issue ID, then we can send it null, and this will be help. Let's say, for any issue, right? Either you're gonna assign to the user, or maybe when you unassign, okay, when you unassign means you're still updating, right? So in that time it will be null, but when you assign, then it's gonna add that ID, user ID. Excuse me. So that's why it's better to have a null here. So it will do the both. When assigning, it will take this ID. If not, it will just take the null. Okay, so that is done. What else we can do now, right? So okay, I think let's try it now, right? Let's see if this is working or not. Okay, so right now I'm gonna click this here, and we have this cloud open. What is the number 7, right? So let's check. I just have to refresh this. Because on value change, it's on value change, right? 7. I mean, we get the assign issue ID here already, right? That is 7, correct? Let me check. Box 7, yeah. So we got the ID there. But the thing is, still we don't have, right? We don't have the what do you call that? The way to unassign. We don't have the way to unassign yet. So I will be not able to unassign, right? So let's fix that also, okay? So what we will do now? That part is done. Let's see here. So here is suggestion, right? And then when there is a users, you are displaying all the users inside. But just before this suggestion, let's add something here. So you're gonna have user. So label, okay, let's put here, right? So we might be putting on, like, you need a field to like unassign, right? You have the users, but maybe you want to unassign to somebody, okay? So let's create something, maybe select, I think select, yeah, select dot item, right? and we have to provide the value. Remember that value is the one which is gonna be when you unassign. What will be the value? Empty, right? Make it empty string, and here we're gonna call it unassigned. Okay, unassigned. Yeah, that is fine. And next step will be, so how, right? The thing is, how we gonna have the default value, maybe let's check. So select item must have a value props, right? That is not an empty string. This is because the select value can be uh, set to be to an empty string to clear the selection on the soap. Oh man, I cannot make it empty. So either you can assign it or you can unassign, right? You can do that. So okay, fine. So that is one thing. Also, right, let's say you select one of them, and if you refresh now, let's refresh, right, and see if there is or not, right? So we don't have that selected one, we don't have, right? So we have to fix that one. Okay, right now we don't have, again it's gone. So how are we gonna fix that one? This is, I don't know, this will be empty here, but okay, leave it like that, unassigned. So in our let's go back here now. We're gonna add some kind of default. Okay, so the default will be, right, I think default value, or default, yeah, default value will be some coding. Now if there is issue dot assign to user, if that is true, right, or maybe, or I think, I know we cannot put empty, right? I know we cannot put empty, it will give you the error, I know that. So we will just use unassigned. Okay, let's see. So let's refresh that, and if I select this one, what is the error now? Axios request failed, right? Okay, yeah, it's not working. So now here, let's see. User ID or null. Can we make it string here, empty, and then we try also, right, empty. Let me see. Man, this was working. I don't know why it's giving me error now. So if I select now this one, basically my Axios is not working, Axios.paths, and then I have this API issues, right? So if I go to API here, API issues, oh sorry god, I have in the edit, my god, edit. Now try, right? Now give a try. So I will select, and again, now is something different error. So let's look at from the beginning here. So what we did, right, we unchanged value, we know we are getting user ID, that is okay. That will be coming from here, user ID here, right, the value, that is fine. The next step is axios.path API slash issues slash edit, and here will be slash, I cannot leave it like that, and then we're gonna add that ID, right? So let's try now, and I will assign to me, and then I'll refresh, and it's working now, right? Look at that, it's working. Okay guys, so you just have to play around. So let's see, right, one thing, if there is empty, that is working also, and yeah, I think that is fine. So now if I leave it here also, value will be, let's say if this will accept or not, right? Let me try. Okay, if this will give me error or not, let me see. Yeah, it's giving me error, right? So value must be something. So for now I'll just leave it unassigned. Okay, that is fine. Either empty or maybe unassigned, right? Something like that is okay. So okay, so that is all happened, right? So you can put it unassigned. So now what, right? Request failed with status 500, right? Unassigned. Okay, so it's not. So when you unassigned, right, when you are unassigned, when you're selecting the unassigned, the value is unassigned. Okay, so now what we are doing here, right, we can, what we can do, right, what we can do is we can add some logic here, you know. Let's look at here. If user ID, right, here, let's do that one. If user ID if that is truthy, right, then you're gonna do this, else you're gonna do this. No, it did not work because we are passing object, you know, and in the object oh my god, let me check the code one time. Okay guys, I don't know why. So okay, that is issue here, right? Okay, so I have added this default value or unassigned. Yeah, there was I remember that something like that happened last time. So let's put it here. Okay, fine. And also we're gonna just put it here, assign user ID to user ID or null, right? So let's make it null. And what else I have done here now, value will be unassigned, right, like that. So I'll just copy this. Okay, that is all I believe. Yeah, what else we can do? Okay, that is all. I think that should work now. Let's so either unassign it and refresh. Let's see if we're getting still not working. Right, still there is some issue. So request failed with status code 500 and whatever is that error, but the one we assign is working. Okay, so just on selecting there is some issue, right? It's not working, so that's fine. I will fix that later. But now you can see we can assign to any of them. Okay, we can assign the user, right? Let's say if I go to the 4 number and I can assign, right now is unassigned. Okay, that is unassigned, right? So we can go back and assign it. So in the beginning it was unassigned because now we have default value, correct? So you can assign that. If I go back and unassign again and refresh, let's see if that is, oh, see, that is not changing back, right? So okay, so user ID or or can I make it? No, I cannot do that. Okay, I will try with unassign. Okay, need to add, I think need to add more condition here to test that, so I have to figure that out. Let's make it unassigned, refresh. Yeah, it's not working, so let's leave it for now null, and I will figure that out. Okay, and I will let you know on Monday, right, what happened. So just imagine, like for example, we just learn how to assign to the user, right? The only things we need to fix is how unassign it. Okay, how are you gonna unassign it and change in the database also. That is what we have to figure out here a little bit. Okay, that is done. I think, yeah, let's leave it here, right? So that will be, we can call it maybe uh, assign an issue, right? Issue to a user. Clear? Yeah, that was the. Now, let's do one more and then we're gonna stop. Okay, maybe it's showing the toast, right? Toast means how you're gonna show the error message. So for that there is something called toast library, right? So let's go back here and check that, showing the toast notification, right? So you just have to install this, and after, right, you import that. So you just import this toast and toast component from the React hot toast. Okay, that is the library, and you'll see this useful, right? Why this is more useful in our project, just to display some kind of message. Okay, so now after, right, you know remember here, here this code we have the, where we fetching data, right? See here we have the paths also, Axios paths. Okay, we are doing that. So if something is wrong, what we're gonna do, we don't have way to display some message, or we can think about even here, right? Axios, you are getting some information here, right? Like fetching the data. Okay, so if there will be some error, how are we gonna handle that? So let's look at here, right? uh, we can add in here, or we can add, I mean, anywhere we can test, right, for testing purpose. So okay, let's use it in this one, user ID, assign select assign issue, right? So first what I will do, that I will just test here, okay, in our code which we are just working on here. So what we're gonna do is Axios, right? After Axios paths, and after that we're gonna just apply maybe dot then method. See, we don't have async await now, right? We have to make this async await, then only we will be able to apply maybe cats, okay? So that's what we have to do, right? So async, no need here. I don't know why it's not. Oh my god, better to have async await and then apply that, you know. Okay, let's try this, no problem. Cats, and here you're gonna have error, so you're gonna have callback function, right? Call it error, and now you're gonna call the toast, okay? Toast dot error message, right? Some kind of error message. So you just call the toast object, and dot error, it has error function, and you pass that value. That is all we have to do, right? So let's see, I mean, we're gonna add some kind of error here, right? For example, let's say I will put it maybe edit maybe m, right, like that, and see what happened. Okay, let's go back and look at this code. So for now I'll just update, right? Maybe go to the next one. Oh, server is not running, guys, sorry. So if we go to the issue, open one of them, and let's try to, because now we have added some bug, right? Just to see if this will, you know, if I change here, it did not display the message. That's surprising. So yeah, it did not display message, right? I know it did not update, but it should display, you know, the toast should display the message. Okay, I mean, we no, I think something is not correct. So here is the toast, right? We added the toast, but to display the message we must call this component. Okay, so where we're going to add that one, right? Let's add it just below here. Sorry guys, this one, you know. Yeah, so now we have two components, the select root and this one, right? So we must wrap in a what do you call that, fragment. The toaster is basically to, you know, just put anywhere in your code, right, where you want to just pop up the message, some kind of message, okay, like error message, right? So now if I change here, you see that change will not be saved, right? See, and it will after few seconds it will be gone, right? So that is the reason for toast. So you just put it somewhere in your component, and in the catch section, right, like where you're going to display the error, there you call that object toaster with error, right? Pass the error property, and you know, inside you're going to pass a string or something for error, right? That is what we're going to do. So that is for the toaster. Yeah, so let's remove the error from here. For now we don't need that. So what I will do now, right, commit this, let's call it add toast, right? We call it toast to display error, right? Error message. Now there is only refactoring, right? If you look at the code here, I mean, even if we don't do refactoring in this code, is fine, right? But what we can do is, for example, this part, right? They have a lot of code here, correct? In the user query, right? You have whole this one. You can separate in one function, maybe. Right? You can just add it somewhere, either in the separate file or just put it below here, right? We can do that one. That is one thing possible. The next which one you can change, right? So the next one will be, right, let's see, even here. So you have how many line of code now, right? Inside here you have many line, 3-4 line, right? So we can move this also away, write it in separate file, not separate file but within here, right? Will be fine. So what we can do, right? Okay, let's see. I will just quickly copy and paste the code, and I think we'll be done, right? Refactoring will be, so assign issue, right? So that is all is done, what we just did, okay, in the same code, right? But you can separate this one. Okay, let's copy that, and maybe we can put it somewhere. Maybe it's where we're gonna add here on the top. Can we put it here? Let's see. So issue ID now, right? You're not gonna get issue ID. Issue ID, because the issue ID was here. All right, let's leave it within the component, so that no need to worry about that variable. So let's go back and put it here. Fine. Now we just need to use this, right? Because we just extracted everything from here. Look at this code, this whole thing, right? We extracted already, so we have to delete all this and just call that assign issue, right? Function, assign issue function. That is all. So it's just, I mean, we can do that. That is fine. The next thing what we can do is, let's see, there is more code with this one, right? I believe, yeah, here. So we will take that also out. So let's get a code for that. Here. So this is use user, right? So that where we can put here, let's put it, no problem. In this case, what we need, right? Do we need anything? So we just removing, right? I think there we don't need anything from here. API user, then method, that is all. Yeah, so let's copy this variable and put it there. Just little bit clean up, right? That is all we are doing, nothing major. Oh, what I did, so I need to bring that function use user, copy and put here. Okay, so that is all, right? We can do, I think, what, anything else? No. So this is all the select route. Then you have the let's see, that is separated already now. Yeah, so let's leave it like that, right? That is fine, I think. Yeah, so let's see if it's still working. Go back one of the issue, and The only thing is now, right, this unassign. Okay, so I will fix that one, and I'll talk to you guys on the Monday. Okay, so if we have to recap now what we did today, create the refactor. Let's refactor the code. Refactor the assignee select, right? Select component component. Okay, so let's recap quickly. First we look at the API. We update our patch API. There is a validation, so we modify the validation. Okay, and yesterday we had done the schema, right? And there we added unique, not unique, but the optional value for the assignee user ID, right? That is optional. Okay, so you just check that one. Then you update the patch API, and after that, we work on the select section, right? On value change and added a default and all that, right? And also get our API to update the assignee user. Okay, that is what we have done. And next one we did the what was that, the toast, right? We added the toast to display the error message. And the last one was the little bit of refactoring. Okay, so that is all we have done today. Okay guys, you have to practice, right? So let's finish all these things first, and then I want you guys to cool down and look at step by step and do you have to do at least if you can do like 2 to 3 projects, right? And I will give you the work to do. Okay, and I will be there to help, right? Once you do that 2 to 3 projects, it will make sense. Okay, it will make sense, right? That's how you're gonna slowly transition from like confused state to understanding everything, right? But it just take time and patience. And please, when you get like frustrated, just look at what you are doing, right? That line of code, look at the data coming from, try to understand. But you have to do it couple of times. It's not going to happen in one time, right? 3 4 5 times. I'm telling you, that is, everyone has to do that in the beginning, right? Even for me, I have to do it like 3 4 times. Okay, and still, like, I have done this one, I did one time earlier, right? And now I'm teaching you guys, this is like second time. I looked at study, I looked at one time, so this is third time. But if I do 4 to 5 times, I will remember it 100%, right? But I understand, but remembering part, yeah, you just have to do I can say 4 5 times is okay, right? But not always. Okay, you just need like 3 4 projects like that. Then all the process you have in your mind, right? So any new work you're going to do, you know what to do there. Exactly, you're going to write piece by piece, keep moving, keep writing the code. That is what's going to happen. So we have done the great things for last 9 months, 8.5, something like that, right? For few more, maybe two, let's just 2 to 3 months, if you're going to work daily, right, with the projects. And I told you, if you do 2 to 3 more projects, it's good enough for you guys to work comfortably, right? So trust me. Okay, that's gonna happen. So you have to be patient, cool down, and do the job. Please, just do whatever, right? Just do, but feel happy, right? Okay, right now maybe it's confusing for me, but I will know it later, right? You just have to be positive, but work. So finish all your whatever you're doing, just finish that, practice for your exam, right? Complete on daily basis, just work 1 hour, finish what we do, at least keep moving, right? So that you can link your projects in your portfolio, this project, at least one good project on the top. And maybe 1 or 2 project I will give you after completion of this one, with maybe JavaScript, right? Remember I sent you the video last time for JavaScript. There is e-commerce site, right? So you can, after, not now, but after completing this, so after finishing our portfolio, resume, all that, right? Then just complete that. Maybe it will take 1 day, right, for you guys to complete that whole 2 3 hour project, or 2 days, or 3 days even is okay, right? But complete that, write piece by piece, create navigation, create components, whatever you have to do, right? Go step by step in the JavaScript, and in every step you commit to the GitHub. Now you know how to use GitHub, right? So daily basis, at least you make 6 7 commit on the GitHub now, and that project you're going to link to your portfolio. After that, we're going to do 1 or 2 more projects with the Next.js, and we're going to look at that which we're going to do, right? So that is, that is will be fine. And if in the Fiverr or Upwork, if you get any work, then you guys have to work together, right? We're going to learn the template, okay? After this project, maybe one day I'm going to have a class, right, with how you're going to find good templates, how you're going to, let's say, with Tailwind and SATCN and Redux UI, right? Like, set up things properly, and then you can have navbar, footer setup, you create page and all that, right? So if you get simple websites, 4 5 web page website, right? How you can easily, things will be done easily. One is easy way, and one you're gonna have difficult way, right? So we're gonna figure out way to do it easily. Then, like, we're gonna talk about the SEO and all that, right? How you're gonna add the keywords, description. Now I think there is no keyword, right? Just description, title, uh, basically generating metadata. Then there will be some other, there is few more things, right? Like a robot text, something like that. For SEO, you have to look at in the Next.js how we generate, right? And then, Google Analytics, how you're going to connect your website to Google Analytics. All these things we're going to talk one day, okay? So that is fine, right? But you have to be very patient and work step by step, guys. It's not easy, but if you have patience and you work, you will get there, all of you, right? So please be happy. Okay, I will stop here now, right? So